think we're good. Let me jump on another account here. I think we're live. We are officially in our last beta of the live stream. Yep, everything's up and running. All right. Cool. What's up, everyone? So this is the last beta. I'm calling it the last test stream with some budget gear. And so if you're here, this is unofficially an unofficial Anson & Co. stream. So thank you guys for joining. But I am really excited. We got our internet updated. So one thing, if you're here, let me know in the comments below if you're seeing a lot of drop frames, because with the internet being updated, hopefully everything should be fixed by now. I've got scenes worked out, so we're going to test out an intro now. So let me do that, and here we go. I'm definitely watching that back. Oh, I started talking before the intro is done. Working out the kinks. So if you are just now joining me, welcome to the stream. If you are interested in social media, that's available now. What? So just testing out some different things within OBS. So thank you guys for joining. Again, this is kind of like a test stream. What my goal is to do is basically see how well this equipment works, because potentially this can get you guys streaming with the GH5 for really cheap. I'm talking like, I spent, probably $25, $30 on the capture card, and then probably the video I'll make is probably around the $50 marker, just to think about some audio, because I am using a lav mic. Now this is one that I was sent by Gear, and so I'm testing this out as well, which a review for that is coming shortly, because I really do like it for a streaming scenario if you're looking at something more wireless. But having budget streaming gear is awesome for online content creators. You don't have to spend $300 to $400 to $500, especially considering how much the Elgato capture card is right now. You don't have to worry about like inflation of cost. Now, I will say it is streaming only at 1080, so that could be a downside for people. But to compensate, I'm using the 18 to 35, which we all know is probably way too sharp for most creative things. And so hopefully, I'm hoping that sharpness kind of helps out the fact that I'm be streaming in 1080, just like a marriage of everything there. So a part of this is I'm going to test out, I'm doing also a little bit of test with OBS. So I'm running through some scenes here. So let me get over to DaVinci Resolve, and I'm going to screen share, or attempt to screen share. I can't remember what hotkey it is, but screen share DaVinci Resolve. I am editing this week's video, and I was doing a little bit of color grading edit last night while I was testing out as well. This is where I landed so far with the color grade. So if you were watching last night, it was really bad, like pretty incredibly bad. And so I finally got it to a point where I'm happy with it. Just to give you guys an update, turns out, for my taste, I just overexposed the shot. I'm using a new light from Godox. That's actually what the video is on this new light from Godox. One that actually Gerald Undone just reviewed as well, so hopefully it's a hot topic. That is this week's video is the Godox SL150W Mark II. That is something that will be coming up on the channel this week. But that being said, I got to where I liked the color grade, but this is also, again, testing out OBS. I'm looking at my monitor right now. I've got myself up here in the corner, a little bit out of the way. The only thing I'm blocking in DaVinci Resolve right now is the image gallery, so it's not missing out much. I figured out everything on this part of the screen was probably a little bit more important, as well as maybe like down here. So yeah, testing out again, if you're just joining, testing out some budget streaming gear for the GH5. Technically it's for the GH5, Blackmagic, really any camera that has an HDMI out port. And so basically a budget, sorry, my daughter's going, if you've joined any of my live streams the last few days, I'm streaming at bedtime. And so you might hear, my daughter is literally like other side of this wall. So you might hear her every once in a while. She'll give you some commentary on the stream. So I've been pretty happy with the quality of, excuse me, I've been pretty happy with the quality of the capture card. You know, honestly, this comes down to like lighting and the gear that you use to get a good quality stream, I think, because even this with this being a 1080 stream, I think even OBS is giving me a 720 stream. I think it's good quality for what it is. Yeah, as long as you got a good key light, got some interesting lighting back here. Yeah, I think you can stream for pretty cheap. I want to start streaming weekly. I got to pick a night that I think will be consistent. I'm thinking either Thursday or Friday nights. Let me know in the comments below which you think. I might actually put it on the community page, do a survey. But I'm thinking one of those two nights. Those are usually nights that I'm not trying to do. I don't know. Let me flip back to the right scene. Hang on. Those are nights I'm not trying to do like a, you know, any example shots or test shots with a lens or things like that. And so, you know, usually those are more of like an off night. So doing a quick like 30-minute stream, something like that, shouldn't be that bad. So, and what I want to do with it is kind of maybe a couple different purposes. Potentially doing stuff like, you know, budget gear for the GH5 when it comes to live streaming, or Blackmagic if you're a Blackmagic user. If, as a side note, if you see a lot of stuff like GH5, Blackmagic, you could pretty much just assume that most of the things that I review is good for GH5 or Blackmagic. I may title it that way in some of my videos because maybe that's the only thing I tested it on. But we can go ahead and assume that my channel is just a Micro Four Thirds channel. So, but that being said, you know, potentially capture, you know, budget gear for the GH5. I mentioned something prior where, you know, possibly doing like B-side review stuff, just like smaller items that normally wouldn't make the channel. For example, like one that I really want to do a live stream on because I don't think I can make a full-on video about it is the Fimi Palm. If you guys have ever seen the Fimi Palm, it's basically the budget version of the DJI Osmo Pocket. And so I was sent that to review for you know, a company, but they didn't require that I do a YouTube review of it. It was just kind of like a blog review. And so I was reviewing that and I was like, I could put it on the channel, but I'm not a vlogger. And I really feel like this is a good vlogging camera. Now I could do a vlog and have like an interesting, different approach to the video, or I could just come talk about it on a live stream. And I think that'd be really good. I actually got a entry into the SD Single Space Challenge that I was doing a couple months ago when quarantine first started, and I may do that. I may like react to that in a live stream. So I think there are kind of a couple things that I wouldn't normally put in a finished product video that I think would be good. You know, again, like B-side reviews. Maybe just hang out, maybe like I did one of my test streams was talking about the announcement of the R5 and R6, and so that was you know, potentially something there. But let me check something really quick. Okay, so I think we're still here. I think we're good. Looks like I dropped down a little bit. But yeah, so I think that's where I want to go. And I don't want to, like, I've been streaming like pretty much every night this weekend because a lot of it is testing new things, testing new scenes, testing lighting, testing, how I want things positioned, because these brand-wise are going to be a little bit different than my finished videos. My finished videos is this black wall backdrop over here with the shelves and the lights and everything. It's more like dark and moody, by nature of you seeing. I'll go back to DaVinci Resolve, but you can see with DaVinci Resolve that this is my scene. A little bit dark and moody, something that is not as a little bit more full of life and relaxed as this would be. And so I really kind of want to separate the branding of the live streams versus my finished videos, because I'm also, like, the scene that you're seeing here, I'm sitting on a stool backed up against this wall. It's not really conducive to a desk environment, which is really helpful for me, because if I want to talk about DaVinci Resolve, I can, let me switch back. I can, flip over to DaVinci Resolve on the computer, talk about my color grading, and that's, as a side note, is one thing I want to do more too. Is like, hey, this is what it looks like to put things together. I may, have moments where I'm like, hey, this is what it looks like to finish my videos or edit my videos, how I put things together, because obviously you guys see a finished product, and so kind of like how things are made and things like that. So I think that's really helpful as far as, or potentially really helpful to my viewers. And so let me know, again, comments below, what are some things you guys would like to see from the stream? How do I make it a little bit different than my normal videos? So again, testing internet. Internet may be a little bit struggling. It's not still not the fastest internet, and I may have other people. My wife might be streaming some stuff now, and so I didn't try to plan and be like, no streaming until I'm done, please. And so, it still may have some fall off. But again, just testing out gear. This might be the first video. I'm debating on what the first official stream might be, and I think it's going to be the gear that I'm using to stream on a budget. And so I look forward to that. If that's a video you might like I said, I'm comment below, but I'm probably also going to do a poll on the community page. And so if you want input on what you would like to see me stream about, subscribe. Subscribe so you can see my community page. I think you can technically see it without the, I blanked on what I was saying. What's up, Dion? What's up, Love First? You guys are all here. Where are you using for the stream? Don't make me spoil the surprise. That's a whole live stream that's coming up. No, my goal for my first official stream is talking about all my gear. But basically, what I'll do, and I'll give you some benefit for that stream too. But basically, it's a budget, simple USB 1080p capture card, and using my GH5. I love the Blackmagic. I've actually even gotten to the point this past week where I started shooting all of my product B-roll with the Blackmagic, which before I was just doing just my talking head on the Blackmagic, but now I did some product stuff with the Blackmagic today, and it looks amazing. So I'm probably dropping the GH5 for YouTube creation, but I love it for live streaming. I love the GH5. Don't get me wrong. I love my GH5 still. We were going to go to a local march this past weekend, and there's no way I'm taking the Blackmagic to that, because I have a huge rig for that. This is my run and gun solution, and so love the GH5. But I'm streaming with the GH5 with the 18 to 35. That's all I'm going to say. Please tune in to my next live stream to validate the fact that even though I just told you, you're going to act surprised, but you don't know my audio solution. So there you go. Yeah. So again, this is kind of my last test before I go official. Yeah, hopefully I'm going to watch this back. Hopefully all the scenes worked out, the intro played. I'm still not sure if the audio from the intro transmitted. And I'm probably going to change that up, because again, with branding, the stream's a little bit different than my normal videos. I'm gonna probably work with my nephew to get some music and maybe make a custom video for the live streams. So we'll see. Or maybe I'll just not even do an intro, since it's more like just relaxing and getting the word out there. Oh, what's up, Jay? Thanks, man. Thanks. I'm really surprised how well all of this kind of turned out. The live stream that I did Thursday. I was kind of down on the quality, but it was honestly because I didn't color grade. I'm actually color grading this. This is a LUT on the GH5. And I may include that on that live stream of all the gear that I'm using. This is actually with a LUT and OBS. And so, thank you. I'm glad it sounds good, even though I'm definitely picking up my daughter, who is currently running around her room right now. and the breakdown, if you were just joining, the breakdown of my house is, here's my desk, and literally on the other side of the wall is my daughter in her room, and let's just say she's not ready for bedtime. So you may, if you're a parent or just understand the life of parenting, or a 2-year-old, 3-year-old going on 3, it might be entertaining to join my streams as well, because I definitely don't have like a studio, and my office is where I record everything. So awesome. So I promised my wife I wouldn't be in here for too long. She needs to get to sewing. I mentioned this in my previous stream. She sits right over here. We share the office. She sews right over here. She's getting into sewing, and she's pretty freaking amazing. She's literally been sewing for like a month, or maybe like 2 or 3 months. She's already made like a shirt, a dress, a jumper. She made our masks. Except lately I've been wearing a bandana. And yeah, so it really, she's pretty dope. Pretty dope. Oh yeah, the color grade on this is actually really easy. I'm sorry if my audio just peaked. I get really excited when I talk about color grading, but this one was really easy because what I did on the GH, I'm giving away all the secrets, but for ahead of the live stream that I actually want to tell all this. But in a nutshell, I'm using a natural profile, and it's just really easy to edit that. So yeah. Look, I would love first just mention, she might have to make a shirt for me. So a little bit of history around Anson. I used to run a fitness, like lifestyle brand. That was a big thing a few years ago. It was like, if you wanted to print some t-shirts, like there were a lot like, I'm blanking on them. Donuts and deadlifts. Rogue was a big leader, but Rogue does a lot more. Rogue Fitness. I had one that was called Ghouls and Gains. It was basically like a fitness brand that was geared towards people that were like prepping for an outbreak. And I was like, I think this is dope. And I've actually shared that a little bit of tidbit in what video? It was a video a while ago. It was like things you need to start YouTube. And so that was something that I did for a while. All that to say, I have, with Anson & Co., I'm like, I'm not printing t-shirts. Not printing t-shirts because I've found that like you print them and then if you have people like you in person can sell to, like, you can pretty much like maybe make up what you paid, but it takes a while to actually get a profit. And so kind of understanding that part of the business, I'm very hesitant to print shirts and stuff like that. But I was like, maybe I can get my wife to make some Anson & Co. shirts. Yeah. So, but that being said, we'll see what happens. I'm going to try to get her involved, but honestly, sewing to her right now is her creative outlet. She's a designer by trade. She works for a company here in North Carolina, and she does UI UX. And so like the design side, art side of design for her is not really a creative outlet. So sewing is. So I'm trying to like separate, give that like work-life balance where I'm like, don't do things to make it seem like a responsibility. This is a hobby. So I'm avoiding that conversation. I am not using, so Thiago, and I'm sorry if I butchered your name, asked, are you using a dedicated Ethernet cable? No, I should be, but I am just using our Wi-Fi right now. Probably a really horrible idea. I wish I was. So that being said, again, a part of this final test stream is seeing the overall connection of our Wi-Fi, because we just got it upgraded a little bit. The wife was really happy about that because now Netflix streams faster, but I was like, I just need the upload speeds. But yeah, let me know if you guys are seeing a lot of drops, because that's another thing I'm testing. So I'm testing a couple things. The GH5 gear, I'm testing the scenes to make sure I have an intro. So if you're just now joining and you want to see like the intro, tell me if it's trash or not, like how the scenes kind of flow together, go back a little bit, see that, give some feedback below. Literally, the stream is please, please, please just give me feedback, because I love that this picture looks great, but I also want to make sure that the overall structure of the stream is good. And I want these to be more relaxed. I obviously make a weekly video where I script that video. Roughly, I have more like bullet points. It all goes into like a pretty hefty editing process, about a 3-day editing process as far as like cutting, color grading, B-roll, everything. And so I really want these to be relaxed and just kind of chill. I honestly see these probably as like benefiting a lot of my subscribers, because it's a little bit more just like behind the scenes. I want to, like I said, I want to offer like, this is how I color grade. That's all, like literally, if you missed last night's test stream, it was an epic fail on watching me color grade. Because I was testing this light out, and I realized that for my taste and for the branding of Anson & Co., the shot was way overexposed. And so I was like, I got to work with this. So it might look a little bit different this week because it is a little bit overexposed, but the beauty of the Blackmagic and Blackmagic Raw is those things can be corrected in post. So one thing I love about Blackmagic Raw, and also I'm working with a 2013 iMac, and I know some people cringe on that, but Blackmagic Raw, I can pretty much get away with. I think I cut the whole thing this past weekend. I didn't even make proxies. And sometimes I can avoid making proxies, but I have to reduce the resolution. I think this week I didn't even reduce the resolution. I do, yeah. So Thiago was mentioning that, because of drops, maybe looking at the Ethernet. I'd have to look into that. So it's funny. I used to work for Apple, and that's how I know I'll just say Jay. I'm sorry, Jay, I outed you as another ex-Apple employee. But for that, I am actually not tech savvy. And so I'm like, how do I get an Ethernet cable outside of where my modem sits? So if you guys know, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to have to just go off of Wi-Fi. And much apologies. So that being said, I'm going to run through... Actually, I'm not going to run through the intro. So if you want to see the intro, go back. I am going to drop a social media. Let's see if this works. So if you want to follow me on social media, follow at Anson & Co. on both Twitter and Instagram. I think it's right down here somewhere, maybe. And then beyond that, I'm going to go let my wife sew and get back to editing this week's video. Thank you guys for joining. I'm hoping, I've been having a lot of fun streaming, and I'm going to fight streaming for the next couple days. I'm hoping probably later this week I'll do an first official stream. It'll probably be the budget gear for GH5 for streaming. So my goal is to make a stream. Let me get rid of the social media icon. A stream about what I'm using for the GH5, and how to do it under $50, including audio. So if you're interested in that, join the live stream. I'm aiming for like Thursday or Friday. I'll put out an announcement And it is amazing to see you guys as well. Dion, thank you very much for joining. Love First, thank you for joining. Diego, Jay, everyone, thank you for joining. And thank you if you're watching this after the fact. This is what it looks like to stream with the GH5 with a live stream gear that's under 50 bucks. So if you're curious about what I'm using, stay tuned because we're going to be talking about that in another live stream later this week. That being said, thank you guys for joining. Thank you all for joining. Go and find your journey. Go embrace life. I'll see you here next time. Peace. Let's see if this scene works.